This is Malik.
Hi, Dr. Malik. I'm a representative of the law offices of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, as our client, Shocker, would like to sue you for the use of their ego emblem in your background.
Oh crap! We're screwed now!
What's up, everyone? I am the Kaiju no Kami, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Toho's film from 1969, Latitude Zero. Latitude Zero has an interesting history. It's an adaptation of a radio show that originally started out as an American-Japanese production, only for the American studio to jump ship during filming, leaving Toho to complete the film on their own, making it essentially a Japanese movie despite having a huge American all-star cast. The film features the third man in Shadow of a Doubt star Joseph Cotten as hero Captain Craig McKenzie, while the infamous Ceasar Romero, who to no one's surprise, plays the devious Dr. Malik. Beyond these two, the film also included American stars Richard Jaeckel as a journalist named Perry Lawton, and Dr. Malik's girlfriend Lucrezia was played by Patricia Medina. Furthermore, aside from one actor, all of the Japanese actors speak in English, as the film's script was written in English, then translated to Japanese, with the Japanese actors receiving their shooting script phonetically. It was done in a similar fashion as to how spaghetti westerns were filmed. This means we get to hear some of our Toho favorites, such as Akira Takarada and Akihito Harada speak in English without them being dubbed over by some random person who sounds nothing like them.
New metal injections promote healing in a miraculously short time. Really nothing to be concerned about. All he now requires is ample sleep.
It's an interesting concept and adds a level of authenticity to this film that is often sorely missing when you watch it dubbed. Of course, that also means they weren't given as many lines as normal due to them not being fully fluent in the English language, with Harada only being featured in one scene entirely. Nevertheless, I applaud their work. The question is, does it help or hinder the film? Hell, are the production issues that arose noticeable, or is Latitude Zero an underappreciated gem? Let's watch to find out. Our film kicks off with Perry Lawton, Akira Takarada's Ken Tashiro, an oceanographer, and French geologist Jules Masson, played by Masumi Okada, exploring the ocean when their bathysphere is caught in a volcanic eruption. Perry and Ken wake up to find themselves aboard a foreign submarine, where they meet a young blonde doctor named Ann Barton.
I'm Dr. Ann Barton.
Dr. Tashiro.
How do you do? I'm Perry Lawton.
When you feel up to getting dressed, the control room straight ahead.
She leaves to help Jules, who is in critical condition. Ken and Perry get dressed and begin to explore the sub. Hey Perry, I know this probably doesn't affect you, but I'm getting a serious sense of deja vu here. They enter the main control room, where they are greeted by Captain Nemo. Mackenzie.
You must be Dr. Tashiro.
Yes.
I am Captain Craig McKenzie. Welcome aboard the Alpha. This is my assistant, Kobo.
There, they make a startling discovery.
The Alpha launched June 21st, 1805.
1805? That would make this submarine 164 years old.
Anne informs Mackenzie that they need to return home in order to get Jules the medical attention he needs.
We are aborting the mission. Alert Rehabilitation Clinic to pick up injured man as soon as we dock.
Making such a decision gets him noticed by Dr. Malik, who orders Kuroiga, the commander of his submarine, the Black Shark, to destroy the Alpha at once.
The Alpha is northeast of you, on course for Latitude Zero.
It would please me if you intercepted and destroyed it.
Anyway, the Black Shark chases after the Alpha without success thanks to a variety of tricks Mackenzie had up his sleeve. This drives Dr. Malik nuts.
What's Mackenzie up to now? He's doing something to the Alpha. Every change he makes in it makes him more difficult to destroy.
Exactly. It is very inconsiderate for the dude you want to kill to make it harder for you to kill him. Mackenzie divulges a bit of information to Ken and Perry as to who he is.
I am 204 years old.
Who Malik is.
Yes, we were students, not friends really. Well, not enemies then either. He chose one path, I another.
And about their morals.
And this Dr. Barton, how old does that make her?
Mr. Lord, even in Latitude Zero, gentlemen do not discuss the age of a lady.
Now that's funny. They reach Latitude Zero, where Jules is taken to the hospital while Mackenzie takes our inquisitive duo on a tour of the land. Perry questions everything around him.
Is that electrically operated?
Yes, we have no internal combustion machine.
Nothing like this can operate all by itself.
Mr. Lawton, are you a cynic by nature or because of your profession?
I'm a realist.
We are the realists. That's why we're not political here.
Additionally, Perry learns that they use diamonds as soil and asks if he could take a diamond or two home with him.
Take all you like. We only use them for abrasives and cutting tools.
Soon after, Perry inquires as to whether or not they are dead. Hen's response,
I don't know. I've never been dead before.
good one. The next morning, Jules is reunited with his cohorts just as Mackenzie receives a call informing him that the Japanese scientist named Okada, who discovered a cure for radiation poisoning, and his daughter were kidnapped by Malik.
The Nobel Prize-winning bacteriologist Dr. Shogoro Okada and his daughter Tsuruko were forcibly taken from the ship.
But since it was not American, the evidence indicates it may have been either of Soviet design or a new aggressive step by Red China.
Of course!
Mackenzie states that he's going to need 3 volunteers to join him on rescuing the good doctor. Fittingly, there just happen to be 3 protagonists to our story, meaning they have the right number to serve him.
What's the matter with, us?
We are only alive because you put us out without the bathysphere. Let us go with you.
I wouldn't miss it.
We get to see them take a bath, which coats their body with character shields so they can be impervious to any non-plot convenient threat.
You got the You got the power!
Mackenzie shows off their available arsenal.
First emits a jet of fire.
A miniature flamethrower.
The second, a paralyzing gas that immobilizes but does not kill.
In the meantime, Malik orders Okada to give up the formula to the serum, who naturally refuses.
Well, if that is your desire, I'll see to it that you get there. As soon as you give me the formula for the immunization serum.
No.
As such, Malik introduces the old man and his daughter to a couple of man-bat creatures he created.
This is one of my creations.
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
What Malik doesn't know is that Okada was given a special pair of glasses by representatives of Latitude Zero that would transmit a signal to his location. Of course, what Okada doesn't know is that Malik knows about this device and lets Okada use it to lure Mackenzie to his base.
Very good. It saves me the trouble of telling Mackenzie where Okada is.
That'll bring him here.
Exactly what I want.
It's a very complicated situation. Or something. Personally, I just think it's a lover's quarrel between the two. Whatever the case may be, the Alpha reaches the Shocker base and our heroes infiltrate it only for their quest to be halted by a group of giant rats.
Rat. Rat.
Back to that tunnel we just passed.
While this is going on, Malik gasses Alliance so they can exchange its brain with Koroiga and stitch the wings of a condor to it in order to create a griffin-like beast.
Koroiga, come here.
He then makes the monster grow.
Grow! Grow, monster, grow!
Unfortunately, the griffin creature decides to go to sleep rather than execute the task Malik ordered it to do. This allows Mackenzie and gang to escape the rats through a horrifying skeleton graveyard and enter Malik's lab, just in time to save Okada from becoming Malik's next experiment. A fight ensues, which ends with Lucrezia's death before Malik flees the scene and his man-bats are rendered unconscious. The victors return to the Alpha only to find themselves magnetized to the cliff of Malik's base and then under assault from the Black Shark.
I'm going to destroy the Alpha and everyone on her, piece by piece.
Mackenzie utilizes a new configuration that allows the Alpha to fly. Of course he does. Once again, the dude is very inconsiderate of Malik's feelings.
Shoot it down! Shoot it down!
I've been getting away with it all my life.
This This attracts the attention of the griffin monster, who attacks the black shark. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, you probably want to see the movie's explosions instead, don't you? Yep, I guess I could, but copyright and all. Afterwards, Perry excitedly departs Latitude Zero under the impression it's going to make an incredible story to the world, while Ken and Jules decide to stay.
I suppose you are anxious to get back to your own world?
Well, with a terrific story I've got, plus the pictures to prove it, and a tobacco pouch full of diamonds, it's the only place to go.
Regrettably, everyone on the ship that rescues him scoffs it off as just being a dream, and when he goes to prove it, he finds his camera film to be blank and the diamonds he took to be nothing but dirt.
You see this? It was full of diamonds.
A couple of the crew members on the ship resemble Mackenzie, Ken, and Malik, making one wonder if the whole thing was a dream or not, at least until this happens.
I've received 600 carats of diamonds from unknown sender, instructing we hold for safekeeping pending your return.
How'd the bank know he's aboard this ship?
Damned if I know.
Dun, dun, dun! And that was Latitude Zero, which I have to say was a really good movie. I am very impressed with how intriguing the plot was, how relatable the characters were, and how they managed to have a nice social commentary on society without shoving it down the audience's throat. The film was extremely well paced, as I never felt like a scene dragged on for too long or was too short. The concept behind a civilization that collects brilliant minds across the world who wants to do good for mankind but become targets of opposing countries and agendas is an interesting one. I think it is quite brilliant as how they will have their agents go out to various locations and accidentally leave notes behind to solve a problem plaguing the world. Add on top that Latitude Zero is a fun adventure story and you will find yourself having a good time. I do like how the movie keeps you guessing as to whether or not you can actually trust Mackenzie, especially with how generous he is in letting Perry take pictures of the city and having as many diamonds as he wants, yet still willingly lets him go at the end knowing what his intentions are. I kept waiting for Perry to meet some untimely fate, only for it not to happen at all, and that he does have diamonds waiting for him when he gets home. A nice little twist there. On the negative side, I can't say Ken, Perry, and Jules are anything special. They're your typical Toho protagonists. There's nothing wrong with it, but by 1969 you would think that they would have taken some sort of risk into doing something new with them. Still, they work for the tale the film was telling and they are good guys. I do wish we had gotten to know more about Jules, however, as he seems to be just the third wheel. In fact, it kind of feels like Ishiro Honda was trying to redo Glenn and Fuji from Invasion of Astro Monster with Perry and Ken. As for the effects, they are some of Toho's finest. The explosion beneath the waves at the beginning of the film is exceptional, and the submarine chase scene is beautifully shot. I also have to hand it to them when it came to blending the footage together of Latitude Zero and our heroes walking throughout the city. Even the costume design is impressive for the Griffin monster. It's a shame he was used so little. On the other hand, the Batman critters probably could have been better as they just don't look convincing enough. If there was any minute nitpick to mention with this one, they are it. Fortunately, the actors all do a kick-ass job of taking them seriously, especially Romero, which enhances their believability compared to other films that fail in costuming and acting. Speaking of which, the acting is top-notch despite the Japanese actors not all being comfortable with their lines. I really did enjoy hearing Takarada speak in English, even though there were a few lines he clearly struggled with. Same goes for Harato's soul scene. I did find it funny that Mackenzie's assistant Kobo was fully speaking in Japanese, and yet they played off the two talking to each other so well. It kind of reminded me of Captain Gordon and his Japanese buddies in Godzilla Final Wars. It also helps that Joseph Cotten is a fantastic actor all around, as that man can do anything regardless of the film's genre. Finally, Akira Ifukube's score is as good as the rest of the film. I solely believe that had he not been on his A game, this movie would not have turned out as good as it did. Some of my favorite tracks include this one here, this, and this one. Latitude Zero was a blast to watch and is one of Toho's finest films, going right up there with the likes of the Mysterians and Matango. If you have not seen it yet, go do so right now. It is definitely worth it. If you're kind of like, I don't know if I want to watch it, then you are doing yourself a complete disservice. Until next time, bye.